Alright, so today I am going to go over a few dribbling tips for very beginner players who are just like starting to learn how to control their car. So to make this as simple as possible, I'm going to turn off the things that you guys, like if you don't know how to dribble, you're probably not going to know how to air roll, so I'm going to turn that off real quick. In my settings, I'm just going to unbind all of these. That way it looks nice and easy to start to learn how to dribble. I'm also going to turn off power slide. And this will give me a little bit less control of my car. So basically all I'm going to have, all you guys are going to have to worry about are three inputs. It's going to be forward with your triggers, backwards, obviously, with left trigger, and then your boost. So one thing you should get really comfortable doing is not using boost to dribble. So if you want to pop it up on your car, you need to kind of like chip into the ball. So if you hit the ball like this, it's going to go right in front of you. So you kind of have to get it on the side. And then once you start to take the ball on top of your car, you're never holding down the trigger. And you're making small adjustments every single time. So you're going to barely tap the right trigger every now and again. And you want to keep the ball basically on the very center top of your car. If you don't want it to go anywhere. If you want the ball to go forward, here, let me get like a proper, and I'll do it for the two most popular cars. So we'll start with the Fennec. So, Control P. Okay, so basically, if you, here's just a quick like hitbox area where you want the ball. So if you want the ball to stay on top of your car, let me just make a line here. So this is going to be roughly the middle of the car, okay? So if you want the ball to go forward, so if you want to move the ball forward, you need to have the ball in this area, in this like upper left part of the car. If you have it, the closer to the front you have it, the faster you have to be going in order to keep it up. So if you have it here, you can still move the ball forward, you're just not going to be able to go as fast because it's a little bit further back. All right. So if you want to decelerate the ball, you have to have the ball here. So this is to decrease speed, and then over here is to increase speed. And then if you don't want to accelerate at all, you obviously would have the ball right in the middle. So that's important to cover. So let me go back to some more tips here. With the Octane hitbox over here, this car. Now with the Octane, it's a little different from the Fennec. Although they have the same hitbox, it looks visually different. So the Octane hitbox is a square, kind of like this. That's somewhat like what the hitbox is. I'm not going to say it's perfect, but we'll go with that. So again, to accelerate it, you need to have the ball in this front part to increase speed. And then to decelerate, you need to have the ball in this back part to decrease the speed. So those are the two general things that very early on, this is kind of what you need to know. So let me jump back into free play and I will continue discussing how you can improve your dribbling. All right, so now that we're back in free play, I'm going to use the Octane because it's probably the most popular car. So as you can see, when I have the ball in the back of my car, I have to go really slow to keep it on top. So it's on the very back, so the ball's going to start to go backwards if you get it like this far, but you also slow down. But if you stop completely, then the ball will start going forward again, and then you can catch it again. But if you want the ball to move forward like this, you keep the ball in the front of your car just like this. The ball's going to continue to move forward. Now let's talk about adjusting, because obviously you can't just dribble the ball straight forever. Like you have to be able to turn, right? So when it comes to adjusting, you're making very slight movements on the stick. You're never going to hold down turn, because if I just hold down turn, or if I hold down turn right or turn left, oh, I forgot I don't air roll on. Okay, but anyways, if you don't hold, if you just hold down the turn, you're gonna overturn. So it's all about making little micro adjustments, and that's really a big thing. You can't ever hold down boost. You can't ever hold down speed. You can't ever hold down brake. Otherwise, you're gonna lose control of the ball. You have to be able to just slightly tap each ball. So another important part, when you're turning, if you want to turn left, you have the ball on the left side of your car. If you want to turn the ball right, you have to put the ball on the right side of your car. Now, if you want to go right and forward, you kind of have to have it on the upper right front of your car. If you want to go right, left and forward, you have to have it on the left part of your car. If you want to slow down and go to the right, then you have to go have the ball in the back of your car and put it on the right side. If you want to go slow down and turn left, same thing, but you just have to put it on the left side of your car, just like this. Um, so yeah, those are things for dribbling. So when you're dribbling, you don't really need to worry about, like when you're first learning to dribble, you don't even need to have power slide on. I don't. I unbinded it to specifically show new players that you don't need it. You don't even need boost. I'll do dribble without boost here in a second once I catch the ball. And so you can see I can keep this up forever. So you don't need boost. The most important part at this point is that you're learning to control the ball. And so for those of you who have trouble getting it on top of your car, one thing you can do, use Baki's mod and just spawn it up there. But eventually you will need to know how to pop the ball up. So you kind of need to like chip into it. So that doesn't mean having the ball roll towards you, where you drive into it like this, although that does work. So if you hit like right on the D-pad, if you have Baki's mod, yeah, you can drive into it. But a lot of times you just want to hit it from the side to pop it up, and then you drive under it. So for example, ball's coming in at an angle, kind of want to hit it to the side, and then catch it. Hit it on the side, and then catch it, right, just like this. And then when it comes to flicking, flicking is a completely different thing. And you shouldn't really be learning to flick until you can consistently hold the ball in your car, because flicking is all about having the ball in the right spot at the right time. And if you can't even keep the ball up the whole time and you're always out of control, then you're never going to be able to flick consistently. So my recommendation, learn how to dribble first. So keep this ball close. You really should just be practicing, like, can you weave in between the boosts? Like this, kind of like what I'm doing. And then just really practice learning to dribble without boost first. Practice kind of the places you need to have your car relative to the ball in order to turn it in a certain direction. So like I was saying earlier, you want to go to the right, have the ball on the right side. You can go right and go forward, have the ball on the right in the forward part of your car, right? So it's learning all of these things. And then my other big tip is you just have to like slowly, you just have to go slowly. Slow it down. Another thing that can help you, slow down the game speed. So go like this. Go to current game, slow down the game speed. Spawn that ball on top of your car, because it's going to give you more time to adjust to what's happening when you're first learning to dribble. But yeah, and also never dribble with ball cam. That's a really big tip. You're always going to take ball cam off when you're dribbling, because you can see it gets a little awkward. I can still do it, but it's way more awkward. Don't worry about power sliding. Don't worry about any of that. Just get down the fundamentals right now. And then all you're going to do is those micro taps of the trigger. So like, I'm holding the trigger, I'm holding the trigger, I'm holding the trigger, I'm holding the trigger. Right, so you'll see those lights on my car turn off when I'm accelerating. So you can see that I'm not accelerating the whole time. Right, so you see it, those lights are blinking on the whole time. If I just hold down the trigger, I'm going to lose the ball. If I hold down the trigger, I'm going to lose the ball, because you're just going to accelerate too fast. You have to match the speed of the ball, and the only way you can do that is if you continue to slow down. And I'm not holding left trigger. I'm just taking my finger off the right trigger. And then again, I'm paying attention to where the ball is relative on my car in order to take it in a certain direction. So yeah, those are some early tips that should help you dribble. I don't even have air bound, so I can't like follow the ball in the air right now. But yeah, practice in slow-mo. Practice keeping it up on your car. Kind of like learn how you need to have the ball in order to take it a certain direction. When it comes to chipping, you kind of just like need to hit it the opposite direction the ball's going. So if it's kind of like going off to the right, I'm going to cut into it going to the left. If it's coming off to the right, again, I'm going to go off to the left, or off to yeah, I'm going to turn off to the left. So it's coming in from the right, I'm going to hit it on the left side, pop it up, and then we can catch it just like that. I'm not going to be able to flip my under arrow. I'm going to bind that back and show you kind of power slide a little bit and arrow. I use L1. Just make sure you guys kind of watch some pro videos and figure out what's best for you guys. The right one. Yeah, it is. Okay. So basically, when it comes to power sliding, you really only need this to make tighter turns. So honestly, if you're just learning to dribble, do not worry about power slide. But basically, power slide comes in if you're trying to take like a sharp cut on the ball and trying to get control of it. So not like that, because obviously I hit it. But you come in like this, you want to get a sharp turn on the ball. That's kind of when you use power slide, just like this. Yeah, but power sliding is super helpful. but you don't need it when you're first learning to dribble. Don't worry about it. It's going to add more complication to all the variables you already need to kind of figure out how to control. But again, all you're going to be doing is just work on keeping that ball on top of your car. If you can find a like a dribbling pack, like I have this pack, I can put it in the description. This I've been learning to dribble backwards, so this is kind of what I use this pack for. But there is another shot in there uh, for this stuff. It just drops the ball in the front of your car. So if you guys use this pack, just practice catching it, slowing down a little bit, controlling, and then just feathering your accelerator to get the ball into the net. You don't even really need to hit the stick that often. Um, and when you do hit the stick, very slight adjustments, just very tiny, minuscule adjustments that you're making. You're not holding in one direction when you do that. So that'd be kind of my tips for dribbling. So hopefully this video will help you guys get a little bit better. And if you do have any feedback, be sure to leave it in the comments below. And yeah, have a good rest of your day, guys.